Yield to the letter Y, you cannot resist. Why is the question, young hungry minds? Your children demand, you tell them why. Why must they know, the youth demand? The yellow yacht filled with yodeling yellow jackets from yesteryear period. Yearning to be free, yawned as the yachtsmen yielded to their demands. This yearly ritual from yonder worlds. Why, you ask, did the yodelers yell to the yobbo on shore, to tie the yacht to the yoke for the Yanks to go ashore? The why and the what of it is yes. A yo-yo is a perfect gift for a yobo. Your why may never be answered no matter how loud you yell.
Sweet like honey, smooth like honey, honey, sweet like a honey, sweet like a honey, it's sweet like a honey, sweet like a honey, honey. Ow, I'm cruising like a bee, but I'm smooth like a honey. The wings in the breeze, the sky clear and sunny, y'all. Sunlight got me feeling so high with the love in my heart and hope in my sky. The sun is brighter the stars of the day. The petals bloom while the bees are dancing and swaying. I'm gliding through life on the golden ray. A whisper of grace in every display. Rainbow anchor with the promise in my hand. Pain and peace of across the land and every man. Even in the mud where it's the darkest deep, life is still blooming there. The love don't sleep. I'm cruising like a bee, but I'm smooth like a honey, y'all. Wings are in the breeze and the sky is clear and sunny. The sun rising light got me feeling so high. With the love in my heart and the hope that in the sky, y'all. From the roof below, the stars above, the earth is a gift of pure love and beating around with the joy to give. Shouting with the world how sweetly we can live. Still they bloom with the radiant glow. I'm telling y'all, like me, Mr. Happiness, watch me grow. Even in the corner, life survive. From the muddy ground to the rainbow sky. The sunlight got me feeling so high with the love and heart and the hope in the sky. Sweet like honey, y'all. The bow like the sun. We'll rise and the light is how, and the love never done. Mr. Happiness in there. Love is in the air.
I love autumn. It's my favourite time of year. It isn't too cold and there's no sign of frost or snow, but the air is chilled and the nights are getting darker. I love finishing work when it's dark and rushing off home, where I can pull off my outdoor clothes and put on my cozy indoor ones. Huh? Outdoor clothes. You know, the ones you wear to go outdoors, whether it's wearing a suit to work or putting on some jeans and a jumper to go to the supermarket. I hate wearing outdoor clothes indoors. That seems nuts to me. You'll never catch me sitting on my sofa in my jeans and button-up shirts watching the telly. The second I get home, whatever the time of year, off come the outdoor clothes and on go my lounge pants and scruffy t-shirts. It makes so much easier to make dinner when you're not bothered about spilling spaghetti sauce on your work shirt. Not that I have spaghetti sauce every night, but you get the idea. Sometimes I make a lovely beef stew. Failing that, I wait until dark and hop over the garden fence. I'll sneak up the path to Graham's back door and... What's that? Who's Graham? Graham's my neighbour. He's an obese narcoleptic, so not only does he have food in his cupboards, but he sleeps soundly and regularly. So when I sneak into his kitchen and steal his food, he doesn't even notice. The neighbour on the other side of me, whose name I think might be Doris, is old, and so I leave her be. Graham is younger than me and grossly overweight due to depression and an eating disorder, so he can miss a meal or two. The previous tenant of his house, a woman whose name I forget, always kept her back door locked, so I couldn't sneak in as easily and as I can to Graham's kitchen. I'm glad I decided to kill her in the end. The murder itself was no big deal. Killing someone is surprisingly easy with practice. The big issue is what to do with the body. I wish I had a crawl space like John Wayne Gacy, but the smell would probably be awful. As for flushing them down the toilet like Dennis Nielsen did, well, that certainly didn't work out well for him. I guess I could try burying them in the garden, but Fred West proved that never works. Some of my other murders have been buried in a local wooded area, thanks Mum for lending me your Range Rover so I could go to the rubbish tip. However, after murdering Graham's predecessor, I found out the battery on my car had died, so I had no way of moving the body. I did consider wrapping it in a rug and just getting the bus somewhere, but to be quite honest with you, I didn't want to ruin my rug. So I did the next best thing. I fed her to the homeless, chopped her up and minced and cooked in a chili that I shared with the local shelter. She filled many bellies that weekend and it's probably the most useful thing she ever did. But I digress. Graham isn't on my murder list yet. He's proving too useful, which now that I think about it, is quite annoying because I've got the itch to kill again, but it's probably for the best that I stop murdering my neighbours. It draws too much attention after the first few times. I have a potential list of likely victims and... her victims? Well, what should I call them? Would it help if I referred to them as my special projects? That sounds silly to me. Nope. They're murder victims, pure and simple. Why do I murder people? It's easy. No, not the answer. I mean, murdering people is just so easy, it's also addictive. I could be a smoker, or a drinker, or heaven forbid, be addicted to drugs. But no, instead of all that bad stuff, I just kill people. Much better for my body, I think you'll agree. Well, except for the odd scratch or bite now and then, but that's to be expected. Anyway, yeah, so autumn. I love autumn.
It was early morning in the Garden of Joy, and the sky was painted with soft shades of gold and pink. The sun peeked over the horizon, casting its warmth across the earth like a heavenly hug. In the heart of the garden stood Mr. Happiness, dressed in white with golden shades, his spirit glowing as bright as the day. He stretched his arms out and took a deep breath, smiling at the world. "Ah, sunrise brightens the day," he whispered with peace in his voice. As he stepped onto the path lined with blooming petals, bees danced around him, buzzing playfully. They weren't just bees, they were his companions, filled with joy, spreading life wherever they went. "I'm cruising like a bee," Mr. Happiness chuckled, "but I'm smooth like honey." Everywhere he went, flowers awakened. Petals bloomed in vibrant colors, purples, pinks, golds, and blues. The earth smiled with every step he took. A little girl ran up to him holding a daisy. "Mr. Happiness, why do the flowers follow you?" He knelt beside her, tapped his heart, and said, "Because I carry unconditional love right here." and where there's love, things grow. They watched as rainbows stretched across the sky, each one wrapping the earth in a hug of color and hope. Even the muddy corners of the garden sparkled under the light. In every corner, he told her, life survives within mud. That's where the strongest roots grow. The bees continued to bumble and play, their wings catching the light like tiny stained glass windows. Birds chirped melodies, butterflies floated through the breeze, and joy bloomed everywhere, not just in flowers, but in hearts. As the day passed, Mr. Happiness sat by a tree, watching the garden dance with life. The girl leaned her head on his shoulder and asked, "Is this what love feels like?" He smiled, looked up at the sky and said, "Yes, love feels like sunrise after the storm. Like petals that bloom when no one's watching. Like rainbows that bring hope to the lands. It's smooth like honey, and it's always buzzing in the soul." And with that, he closed his eyes and listened to the hum of bees, the laughter of children, and the heartbeat of the earth. Because love was here, love was everywhere. And love was in the air. A celebration of life, light, and unconditional love. Inspired by Valree's poem from HITRECORD, perfect for kids, dreamers, and anyone who believes in love. Subscribe for more uplifting videos.